Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, I'm going to give you a little history lesson, and then I'm also going to tell you how evil, absolutely evil, those people in power in this country are. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. They share commonality and kinsmanship with Mao, with good old Adolf, good old Stalin, good old Karl Marx, and the rest of them. But let's begin with Lord Acton. Lord Acton was a member of the British Parliament House of Lords. He was a baron. Distinguished looking guy, isn't he? Lord Acton is credited with the famous and truthful saying of power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's a fact. Next, I'm showing you a picture of the venerable looking congressman from Ohio, John Sherman, brother of the famous General William Tecumseh Sherman. What is named after John Sherman, congressman from Ohio, is the 1890 Sherman Act, Antitrust Act. And I want to read the words, I left it here. I want to read the words that we're putting on the screen for you. Was enacted in 1890 to curtail combinations of power that interfere with trade and reduce economic competition. It outlaws both former cartels and attempts to monopolize any part of the commerce of the United States. Along with the Anti-Sherman Trust Act, something called the Clayton Act, and of course we have a regulatory department in Washington. How corrupt is the swamp in Washington, D.C.? Democrats, Republicans, bureaucrats, they have allowed the takeover of entire parts of our economy despite the law. They've allowed it. So what do? Let's purge all things Trump. It's unbelievable. Some of the things, they want to purge the cameo of Trump in Home Alone. If you're a Trump supporter with a Harvard degree, Harvard wants you to rescind the degree. Contracts with Trump in New York, we got to get rid of those. All social media platforms, Trump, let's wipe him out. It's unfreaking believable. It's like we want to purge the world of Trump. It's no different than Salem witch trial, book burning. It's the same thing. And what is his crime that's triggered all of this? Giving a speech in Washington, D.C. to his supporters, where he did not incite any violence or insurrection. He's charged with insurrection. Ladies and gentlemen, the American jury and Bulldog Nation, I am proud to supported Trump back in 2016 as his Northern Kentucky chairman, spokesperson. I'm proud to continue to support Trump. I was lucky to have met Trump and gotten my photograph taken with him. Had a good little conversation with him. When did we find out that Trump won because Trump won over Hillary Clinton? We now know what we always believed, but look how we know how the swamp works. FBI, CIA, FISA courts, Congress, the dossier baloney, wiretaps, surveillance. Look what we would have not known any of this if Trump hadn't won. We have uncovered it all. It's scary. So They do all of these crimes to Trump, and here's what they want to do. Now, as I go through this list that I'm also putting on the screen, imagine, how is this any different than Stalin, Mao, Marx, Hitler, Saul Alinsky, camps? There's people talking about re-educating. They're already deplatforming him. They're calling him a domestic terrorist. They're talking about a truth commission for the media. They want to change voting laws, add 2 states, maybe mess with the Electoral College and the filibuster. All of those are to keep them in power and lockdowns. Now, I have been kind to all of you who are corporate slaves, who want your job, or your political slave or media slave because you need your job, so forth and so on. But I'm shifting gears. I'm changing my tune today. Because you know what I'm sick of? I'm sick, and by the way, folks, I get around. I talk to all kinds of people. All kinds of people. There is nobody in my circle of friends, which is large, who isn't 100% worried about all of this crap and feels bad for Trump and supports Trump. No, they all. But I can't believe the number of people in this country who are corporate slaves who won't speak out because you're worried of the repercussions if you do. And folks, if you continue to be a chicken shit, you continue to be a chicken shit in your corporation, your company, your college, wherever you are, that's what allows all of this to happen. And it's on you. It's not just on the leaders, it's on you. Example, talking to that woman who worked at Procter & Gamble. Well, we can't really do anything. Talking to that person who works at Xavier. Well, we can't really say anything. Why can't everybody who thinks it's a bunch of crap at Procter & Gamble speak out? What are they going to do? Fire half your workforce? Really? Half of America feels the way I do. And you're going to be silent? Are you that chicken shit? You want to be enslaved by your corporation? You don't want to speak out? You're afraid to speak out? Well, maybe you are alone, but why don't you all collectively speak out? Because I'm telling you, folks, just like Martin Luther King Jr. says, and everybody else has said, and there's quotes all about it, Edmund Burke, all of them. When you don't speak up and speak out, when you see evil and wrong, bad things happen. And the shame, they're trying to shame. It's like, well, we got to shame them. We got to keep shaming these people. Folks, me and the rest of the Trump supporters aren't ashamed at all. We're not corporate slaves. I'm not a corporate slave. You're not going to shame me. I'm proud that I supported Trump and all of his policies. It's unfree. And this is happening in the United States of America. Censorship. Wholesale. In the United States of America. Shame on all of you. You're the ones that deserve our shame, not us. This is the Bulldog. Every dog has their day. Your day is coming.